You really are hooked on, and it's all right, the reality. You want everything to fall into place so that you can be fully underway. And you started to tell us that everything's in place, and we're not talking about the physical characteristics. We're talking about being in the receptive mode so that you can receive the vibrational impulses along the way. Yes, you're following that?
I'm following.
So therefore your question is,
I'm tuned in, tapped in. The correlation with turned on and bringing in the right people that I want to
well,
work
here's
with.
the thing. We just want to say you're getting ahead of yourself. This is the conversation that is perfect for where you are, and it will benefit everyone. We want you to just for a little while contemplate the difference between thinking a thought and receiving a thought. So when you're over here in this action-oriented world where you're thinking and acting and speaking and thinking and acting and speaking, you sort of get accustomed to that, and you like it because you can see people responding to your words and to your actions. You can see that that gets some stuff done. We just want to leave this thought in your mind. It doesn't really get very much done. That's really low-level, mediocre creation if it's happening through your action and through your words. But through your living of life, you've asked for things, a lot of things. And those things have culminated in this vibrational reality that we often call your vortex. We want so much for you to accept the realness of your business already having been created, and all of those cooperative components gathered. And your inner being knows where those perfect people are, where everything that you want and need are and will be for you. And so your work has got to be singularly just one thing and one thing only. Don't get out there and look for people out here in this action-oriented world. All you'll do is find the wrong people. You don't want to find them through determination or through hard work. You want to find them through inspiration, which means don't look for them out here in what you're calling the real world quite yet. Let yourself know that they are in this vibrational reality and that your inner being knows where they are. So you have only one thing to do, and that is to tune in to that, which means get yourself in a place that you are consistently in the receiving mode, so that when your inner being offers you a thought and you receive it, or an impulse and you receive it, then you'll find better timing for yourself, and you'll find yourself in the middle of a conversation with someone where you will know that the source within you has helped you to find them and to choose them and to offer the words to them. You see what we're getting at? So many people gather people around them out of necessity rather than out of inspiration. And that's what we call getting the cart before the horse. So just trust that your desire has been noted over and over and over again, that your inner being knows precisely the nature of your business and who you're looking for. Your inner being knows things that you are not even quite ready to articulate yet, but enough for a really robust and wonderful business to get underway. You just got to get yourself in the mindset of receiving it rather than making it happen. Can you feel the difference in that?
So meditation.
Yes.
Not to be funny.
It's the answer to everything. But here's the thing. Once you are meditating so that you are in that receiving mode, and you can feel that you've got some momentum going, then thoughts that you think about it can not only be delicious to you, but very helpful. We're not trying to get you to stop thinking thoughts. We just want you to be in the receiving mode so that the thoughts that you think are in harmony with the thoughts that you are receiving, so that there's this co-creative thing that's happening, you see. We've offered over time, in fact, there are several of them on the tables, the merchandise tables outside the door. There's some well-being cards, and some are focused generally on well-being. Some are focused upon health. Some are focused upon dollars. Some are focused upon relationships. Beautiful card decks that have specifically chosen words that, as you ponder them from your place of receiving mode, they will encourage the momentum of your reception. Or just getting in a state of meditation and then moving into a state of appreciation, or making a list of positive aspects. In other words, there are all kinds of things that you can begin thinking once you know you're in the receiving mode, and you'll feel as your thoughts are dovetailing with the thoughts that are being offered to you from your inner being. So you will feel it, co-creation at its best, as you're receiving thoughts and adding to it, and the momentum's going, and before you know it, all of the ideas about what to do, and the fun, the satisfaction, we started to say fun because fun is satisfying, but the fun and satisfaction of feeling it into the place and then witnessing it coming about, this joyful creation. And feel the difference between standing in a place where you know you want something and it's not quite happening yet, and that awkward sensation of not quite knowing what to do. When you feel like that, anything that you do won't be appropriate anyway. So just acknowledge, oh, well, I've done all the doing that is important right now. Now I'll just focus on things that make me feel good, and get, as you wisely acknowledged, into that meditation mode every day, and then watch what follows. We can feel by the power of your desire, by the clarity of who you are, by what you know you have to offer. We can feel that it's ready to burst into manifestation for you. Just don't get ahead of yourself. Let it come. Enjoy its coming, not just it having come. That really is the key to most of what we're saying to you here today, because you came for a joyful journey, and most people are so hung up on the fact that the journey hasn't come to a destination yet that they don't enjoy the journey, and then the destination doesn't come, or when it comes, it's just more like the unhappy journey that they've been on. It's supposed to feel good to you all along the way. And it's a good thing that it does, because at the same time that this journey is unfolding into this manifestation, there are more in the queue that will come into this manifestation, and this one, and this one, and this one. You never intended to find a manifestation that would satisfy you forevermore, or even for very long. It's the movement along the way to them that is the satisfying part. And so that's why we want you to acknowledge that when you need it to happen before you feel good, not only do you slow it down, but you don't let the other things keep coming along as they will. And this is the big thing, because you can't get it wrong and you never get it done. It's really important that you start savoring where you are. So have you been listening to us for a while? And we've been talking about the emotional scale. We talked about it a little bit today, how when you are depressed, you are very far from your alignment of appreciation and love. But there are lots of emotions along the way to sort of give you an indicator of what your mix of vibration is. And that mix is something that you and only you have control over, because you're the only one who can focus. You're the only one that can think your thoughts. And so you're wanting to guide your thoughts more and more into resonance with that powerful source energy thinking. So when you realize that you have choices along the way of whether you feel depressed, or whether you feel anger, or whether you feel revenge, or whether you feel appreciation, or whether you feel love, or whether you feel hope, or whether you feel aggravation, or whether you feel defensiveness, or whether you feel fear, or whether you feel depressed, or whether you feel love, but you can't jump all the way from what feels terrible to what feels good, nor will you jump all the way from what feels good to what feels terrible. It's more incremental movement along the way. But if you will just introduce into your consciousness the idea of what satisfaction feels like, and acknowledge that if you're depressed, then it is more satisfying to feel revenge. And if you are feeling revenge, it is more satisfying to feel frustration. And if you're feeling frustration, it is more satisfying to feel hope. And just sort of for a little while, forget about all of these emotions, because there are so many and many more that we didn't even name in our scale. And just know that the mix of you, the way you feel, is the mix of your relationship with your inner being. And just do your best from wherever you are to find the most satisfying way of looking at whatever is crossing your path, or whatever's on your mind. And what you'll begin to notice is it just becomes more and more and more and more satisfying. So we've been talking to you all for a while about you are the creator of your own reality. And some of you like that idea, some of you it frightens. You try to suck your words back before law of attraction gets them and makes bad things happen. And then we began defining it as the art of allowing. Now we're calling this the art of allowing or receiving, the art of allowing or receiving your true connection with who you really are. And for a while we were telling you that you've created this vibrational reality. We called it a vortex, and we explained to you that everything that you want is there, and the cooperative components have all been gathered, and the only question is, are you a cooperative component? Because when you are, then you're in the vortex, and then these things are occurring to you. And today we're saying to you that this vortex exists, and when you approach its vibrational consistency, when you approach the vibration that your vortex is, then you are really in the receiving mode, and you start getting all kinds of thoughts and ideas and impulses that feel good while they're happening and pay off because they feel good, but really pay off in the manifestation that you're looking for. So as we talk about this thoughts turning to things, this is what we want you to hear from this conversation. Thoughts are turning to things, vibrations are turning to thoughts, and you are receiving the thoughts, and as you are receiving the thoughts and the impulses, all of that turns to things. You sort of getting the sense of this? Because it is a vibrational universe that we all live in, and you are turning these vibrations into the reality that you are perceiving, or that you are realizing, or that you are witnessing. So when you get that clear in your mind, that you are the realizer or the receiver of this, then it all becomes much, much, much easier to you. And the reason that we're wanting to emphasize this to you is because as you are in that receiving mode, in time, you are going to recognize that it really never gets done. Because at the same time that you are often in the receiving mode, you are also sometimes in the step one asking mode. So you're all day asking for more and amending the desires. In other words, making your desires clearer and more specific to your tastes. So your desires are continuing to expand. The question is, are you expanding with them? So the reason that we're talking to you in this way is because we want you to get really good at knowing that you never get it done and being satisfied with that understanding. You never get it done. Therefore, the fact that this isn't done yet must not be of concern for you. Because if the fact that this isn't done, this thing that you want right here, right now, this business hasn't come into place and you haven't found the right people, if that is of concern to you, that this isn't done, then your facing of reality is keeping you from being in the receptive mode. Sometimes when we talk to you, you misunderstand and you think that what we're saying to you is just be happy with what you've got. That's not what we're saying. We're saying be happy with what's becoming, but know that it is becoming and let it become naturally. Enjoy the becoming of it, because you're never going to be in a place where you can say, there, all the things that are in my vortex have now become, and now I'm happy. And we'd say, no, now you're really dead. And that can't be. The only dead there is the dead that you live in your physical body, where you pinch yourself off from the wholeness that you really are. So did you really hear that? You're not ever going to get it done, and that's okay. It's got to be okay, because you're not ever going to get it done, and that's got to be okay, because you're not ever going to get it done, and that's got to be okay, because you're not ever going to get it done, and that's got to be okay, because you're not ever going to get it done. Has to be okay, because you're not ever going to get it done. You're not ever going to get it done. Doesn't that make you want to say, good? Good, I'm not ever going to get it done, but there's going to be a whole bunch of new things that I desire that are going to keep my juices flowing and keep my mind sharp and keep people coming to me and keep those rendezvous coming and keep me feeling exhilaration and keep me feeling my hands in the clay and keep watching the powers of the universe at my disposal and keep me feeling the fullness of who I am and keep me feeling the fun of who I am and me being in physical form, the creative genius that I was born to be, the source energy part of me flowing and blowing with me forward all the time. And people say, did you get that done? No, not ever going to get it done. Oh, really? That sounds discouraging. No, it isn't really, because the path to it is so much fun. What? You don't care if you ever get it done? Oh, I care, and it will get done. It's just not done yet, and it's fun anyway. Satisfied with what is. It's not done. Satisfied with what is, and eager for what's coming next and next and next and next and next. So it's like these eggs are hatching and these eggs are still being laid. It's still coming down the pipeline. And you're having so much fun with all of it. Helpful?
Very. Thank you so much.
Really good.